Nicholas asks, what is the ceiling for Arkansas football? It seemed like just 2 years ago, a championship was out of the question for the Hogs. Is it out of the question? That's what I want to ask you guys. If you're driving around right now, let's say you're a Miami of Ohio fan. Let's say you're a Wyoming fan. You're just observing college football. And I were to tell you, I've seen the future. Arkansas plays for a national championship down the road, not too far from now. How fantastical would that be? Like, how out of the realm of possibility would that be to you? Because I think Nicholas is right. Up until very recently, that's just been ludicrous. But I also think this time last year, if I told you Jim Harbaugh was going to play for a college football playoff spot and get it, make the college football playoff, that would have seemed a little out of the realm of possibility. Maybe not as much, relatively speaking, as Arkansas making it, but still, like, I think you would have said that. I think you would have been pretty thrown for a loop if I told you a G5 team's going to make the playoff. The thing with Arkansas that you have to understand that sometimes people are prisoners of is you're prisoners of long-held perception. This happened with Clemson for a long time. You had the term Clemsoning, and you had this idea in your mind that there's a certain batch of ingredients that you have to have from a branding and program perspective for me to consider you a playoff team, and Clemson is not that. But then all of a sudden they were, and then they won a title, and then they won another title, and they were playing for it virtually every year, and all of a sudden Clemson was a powerhouse, and A&M could be that soon, but Arkansas also could be that team soon. And with Arkansas, what do you need? Here's what I'm asking you. Certainly that Razorback logo is not something you currently attribute to sustained playoff contender. No, you don't think that. I don't think that right now, but we're talking about the future. What would have to happen? Let's just play this game out to its logical conclusion. What would have to happen for Arkansas to be a playoff team? The title contender, playoff team, however you want to phrase this. Well, they would have to recruit at a certain level. I think they're doing that right now, and especially this next cycle, the 2023 cycle, they're ranked top 5 as we speak. Here's the other very pivotal part. They are really attacking the transfer portal. I know everyone thinks they are. Arkansas is. Arkansas has gotten more 4-star caliber players out of that thing than any team this cycle. That includes USC, that includes LSU. This is as of last week. I assume it hasn't changed a whole lot. But even if it has, you get my drift there. And they're not done. Well, here's what I'm waiting on. Now, KJ Jefferson's a good player. So this upcoming year, they'll already be good at quarterback. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking down the road, let's say we have a situation next year, kind of like we have right now, where Caleb Williams or someone of his caliber is floating out there in the transfer portal. What if Arkansas becomes a destination for those kinds of quarterbacks? What happens? Like, what changes? If I keep everything else about Arkansas, you love the roster that's being developed, you love the developmental aspect of the program, period. Everyone wants to go there. Apparently no one wants to leave there. And you've got the culture rock solid in place. And then I add on this little cherry on top. It's become a destination for high school and college quarterbacks, like Oklahoma did for a little while there in sort of the pre-transfer portal on the quarterback front. If that happened, I hate to burst anyone's bubble who's a doubter, Arkansas would be a playoff contender. I don't really care what division they're in. Like, you can have more than one playoff contender in the same division. And then, if you guys are going to take this playoff and expand it down the road to where it becomes a little bit easier for programs in a loaded division to make it in, well, if you have a good to great roster that is accented by high-level quarterback play, and then you get in the playoff, you can win a title. So yes, it's unrealistic at the moment to think about, but Arkansas is the kind of team that could change the way you think. It's what they're in the process of doing.